Hardeep Puri ji, Namaste, Jai Hind. Thank you very much for your time. The manifesto is out. What do you believe is perhaps the biggest talking point of the BJP Sankalp Patra?
Anand ji, this is a gold standard manifesto or Sankalp Patra. It provides the vision statement of the Bharatiya Janata Party, building on the last 10 years of development which are chronicled in the first few pages of the manifesto, and it lays out a blueprint as part of that vision on what the party intends to do as a follow-up to the previous 10 years work to take India up to 2029 as a concrete step towards making India a Viksit Bharat or a developed nation by 2047. Now, the Honorable Prime Minister, while speaking on the occasion, laid out that blueprint. And if you read the manifesto, it's a development vision. It's a vision of the BJP's development approach and concrete actions. Let me give you one or two examples, Anandji. One, we have built and sanctioned and built 4 crore units under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. And the Honorable Prime Minister said, we will build another 3 crore in the next 5 years. Contrast that with the previous 10 years of the Congress UPA government. They had a target of 13 lakh homes to be constructed under JNURM, Jawaharlal Nehru Urban Renewal Mission. Out of 13 lakhs, they only constructed 7 lakhs. So their 7 lakhs against our 4 crores. Now, you take that, today the PM spoke about social infrastructure, he spoke about physical infrastructure, there are big takeaways here about uniform civil code, one country, one election, but couched in very mature terms. In uniform civil code, it says we have the directive principles of state policy. We are looking at best practices. We are against, anything which is discriminatory for the gender, on the gender issue, and we will work in that direction. Now, the brilliant thing I think about the BJP as a political party is whenever it says something, it delivers. In 2019, we had talked about the Women's Reservation Bill, and in 2024, we already have the Women's Reservation Bill. We are moving from women-centered development to women-led development. And my experience as a former civil servant diplomat is that wherever you have women-led development, your GDP goes up by 30%. Equally, you look at all the other areas.
Please complete.
Look at all the other areas. Ayushman Bharat. You're now increasing you're enhancing the criteria. Earlier, senior citizens or people of 70 years and above would not get health insurance anywhere because, insurance policies become very expensive or non-existent for people who are more vulnerable to ailments and disease. He said everyone above 70 will get it also. And then you had 2 crore Lakpati Didis, drone Didis, that 2 crore, 33% increase, 3 crore. So Anand, no matter which way you look at it, this is a Sankalp Patra about the ambition of the nation.
Here's what the opposition has to say.
Going to deliver on that ambition.
Here's what the opposition has to say. A lot of it is pipe dream or window dressing. How are you going to achieve one nation, one poll, one election, one voter? How are you going to do this? 2027 is Uttar Pradesh. So are you going to say that Uttar Pradesh will go to the ballot again in 2029? In Bharat, there are so many people who are moving, who are migrant in terms of work takes them all across the country. So if they move out of one polling booth, how are you going to give them one voter card so that they can vote anywhere across the country? The dynamics are so different. How are you going to deliver on a promise like this?
Let me ask you a counter question, which is not my intention. I used to work for a Prime Minister, Shri Morarji Desai, who used to respond to questions with either a counter question or a wisecrack. I'm not in a mood for either, but let me tell you, if 10 years ago, in 2014, if somebody had asked you, Anandji, do you think we will ever get a women's reservation bill? First question. If somebody had asked you 10 years ago, will you get a action on Article 370? Second question. If somebody had asked you in 2014, will you get all the things that we've delivered in the BJP manifesto. Anand ji, I assure you, your response as a objective senior journalist would have been, nahi, isme to bahut samay lagega. So all those guys who say that this is very difficult to achieve, I tell them, you don't know the Modi, the Prime Minister, the determined transformer, and the totally committed nation builder. I mean, ask the Congress party, what was your reaction when you had a terrorist attack? Well, you said it's better not to talk. Let's not exacerbate. Let's not escalate the situation. Let us be very quiet and let us through talk solve it. Here, this man's reaction after Balakot was, अभी वहाँ जाएंगे, उनको घुस के वहाँ पे उनकी पिटाई करेंगे. So you are dealing with a completely different genre of
so in your own wisdom,
nation builder. I am
in your own wisdom, Hardeep ji, you believe one
clear,
nation, one
UCC
poll, one
will
election
come.
is possible by 2020. You believe common civil code is possible by 2020?
It is possible. It is 100% possible. I am going a step forward. I am going beyond the realm of possibility to saying the determination with which we achieved all the other promises in the Sankalp Patra since 2014, same level of commitment and resolve will be available here, and there is a more than a reasonable chance we will achieve a uniform civil code sooner than later.
The other thing is the food security continues for another 5 years. So by giving 80 crore people food every month and regularly, you are saying that you are going to alleviate them from poverty, but that largely means that you are just going to give them free food so that they don't remain poor, but they have actually not moved above the poverty level. That's the opposition's point of view. The opposition is saying this is, if you're doing it during COVID, it makes sense. Why are you doing it 5 years down the line after COVID, and why extend it another 5 years? What are you trying to show? That's one point. The other point is that there is nothing in it for the Kisan. It remains at the same 6,000 rupees for the seeds, 2,000 rupees every quarter or ahead of the sowing season. But there is no guarantee on MSP. There is no legal status to MSP. What is the promise that you are going to keep for the Kisan of this country? Two questions.
Let me answer both your questions very simply. Insofar as the poverty issue is concerned, we can say with great pride, and the world is acknowledging, we have lifted 250 million people, 25 crore people out of multidimensional poverty. And if these people have come out of multidimensional poverty, free food is not the only thing they get. They get a host of other schemes. If they are street vendors, they get Swanidhi benefits. They have been onboarded. They have become part of the formal economy. In far as mudra loans, instead of 10 lakhs, they're going to get 20 lakh mudra loan. So the opposition is talking nonsense because the movement of 250 million people out of multidimensional poverty is a globally acknowledged and appreciated part of the Indian success story. Point one. Point two, you look at any other aspect which is here, poverty. I mean, your rate of growth in the last quarter was 8.6%. 8.6%. Now, even your detractors are saying you'll grow by about 7% or so. Now, if you look at the movement from the 10th to the 5th largest economy, now to the 3rd largest economy, if you look at all the other things which come with it, you will see why the opposition, for want of a better narrative, they are looking at it in terms of what they have to say in their election manifesto. We are looking at it as part of a vision and development.
Is there, as far as the Kisan, there is no guarantee on MSP. There is no mention.
I wanted you. Hold on. There is a total deliberate misrepresentation. The manifesto very clearly says we will improve the MSP. Very clearly, I will read out the exact language to you here. The opposition has been saying what, and I'll tell you what we have said. We have said we have ensured unprecedented increase in MSP for major crops. We have ensured unprecedented increase in MSP, and we will continue to increase MSP from time to time. This is categorical assurance. What is our
legal status or legal
saying?
Guarantee to it?
No, legal guarantees I'll come. Where is the question of a legal guarantee? हमने 71,000 crore का किसान loan माफ कर दिया. Who pays for that loan? It is the taxpayer who pays for that loan. It's like in the 2004-14 period, they said हमने पेट्रोल और डीजल का दाम कम कर दिया. कैसे किया? You took out oil bonds for 1,41,000 crore, and a poor oil minister and poor finance minister now are paying back 3,50,000 crore. Guarantees in things like this is a different discussion. We can improve the lot of the farmer. What will come in the other support of the farmers, those are things, wait for the budget, wait for other things to happen. But we have categorically said as a party position, we have ensured unprecedented increase in MSP, and we will continue to increase MSP from time to time. I think that is as much of a statement of and a commitment that you can get.
Hardeep ji, two questions again. One on infrastructure, because that's also urban development planning and somewhere in your domain. दिल्ली से मुंबई तक का और अहमदाबाद से मुंबई तक का बुलेट ट्रेन इज नॉट येट कम टू लाइफ. हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू प्रॉमिस सम बुलेट ट्रेन इन द नॉर्थ ईस्ट? That's another criticism. Infrastructure development, core infrastructure development, the government is spending huge outlays. How is this going to manifest? How soon?
Well, let me give you a very simple answer on the bullet train. What the Honorable Prime Minister said was that the work on the western sector bullet train is almost, we are at the point where we can see completion and end of that project. And we will start the work on the north, on the west, on the south and the northeast. Let me read out the exact lines. We are constructing the first bullet train corridor in the country. Using the experience gained so far, we will initiate feasibility studies for bullet train corridors in North, South and East India. So please stick to the language, and the language is very clear. It is with the same degree of commitment. We had 240 kilometers of operational metro lines in 2014. We have 960 kilometers of metro lines today, and we are getting another 1,039 under construction. We will be the world's second largest metro system in the world within a few years, overtaking the United States. Point two, bullet train was a major innovative and a major developmental leap. He says very clearly here, we are constructing the first train in the corridor. It is near completion. We will use the experience gained to get the feasibility studies for bullet trains in the north, south and East India. I see no difficulty in feasibility studies. If your next question is, will you have the funds for it?
No. I'm not asking about the funds. My final question, Hardeep ji, and I'm going to wind up on this. I know your time is precious. For the middle class, when he was speaking to the gamers, he said by 2047, I want government out of the life of Bharat's middle class. Where is the middle class being addressed in this manifesto?
Middle class is being addressed in the manifesto in a number of ways. Let me give you just one or two things from the language of the manifesto itself. I may give you a small example. What are the hallmarks of the middle class? They want a home of their own. All right. There's a very clear language there says we will strengthen RERA. I'm just giving you one example. If you build connectivity, you build more airports, you build more train connectivity. Who benefits? It's the middle class. I can give you an N number of things. Middle class references are strewn all over the manifesto. But there is one section, for instance, which is at page 13. Modi ki guarantee for middle class Parivarjan, empowering the new middle class, fulfilling the dreams of owning a house, creating high value jobs, ensuring quality healthcare for the middle class, promoting quality higher education, improving infrastructure for ease of living, developing sustainable cities. I can spend about 10 minutes on each of them because not only because I'm a middle class product like you, no, maybe you are a rich guy, but
not yet.
All middle class product, we draw great joy from each of these 9 sections that I've drawn up for you. And there is annotation language under each of them, Anandji.
Dr. Hardeep Puri, thank you very much, sir. Look forward to speaking with you at length very soon on certain other aspects. The opposition not buying into what the BJP Sankalp Patra is. The government and the BJP saying that we've got a vision for Bharat which the opposition lacks. So the manifesto wars will continue, but the conversations also with the various talking heads will continue here at CNN News 18. Hardeep Puri ji, as always, pleasure speaking with you. Namaste, sir. Thank you so much.